stop. Don't skip. Because we have a big reveal, and we'll do it now. First of all, my name is Joachim.
Evangelos.
Welcome to So Many Games at a Time. And the big reveal is that we're going to do a big giveaway. It should have happened earlier because I was going to do it when the channel had 1,000 subscribers. We're already over 1,200, so it was a bit delayed. Sorry. So we're going to be giving away 2 games, and you can see them here somewhere, wherever I put them. And also there are a variety of things that you can do to increase your entries. There's also a separate video I made for this. So you can check the link downstairs. Check that video that explains everything. No, in the description, not here. You can watch it there to see exactly what you need to do to win one of these 2 games. They're both really good because we spoke about them. And yeah, so with no further ado, let's just continue with the top 10. Last time you started, so I guess
your turn, yeah.
my turn.
Number 10. Número 10.
Is, I am pretty sure, is one of your favorite games because it's a crossover. Pretty sure it's a top 10 for you. Used to be 23, is now my number 10. It's about Kiev. Rurik?
We said it, didn't we?
Oh, you talked about it already?
Yeah.
It's a crossover, right?
Yes.
For sure. Yeah, Rurik, Dawn of Kiev. I thought it was higher.
It was about 84.
84. Yeah, there goes my memory. Yeah, so Rurik, Dawn of Kiev, it is that high for me because I love that action selection system.
So good.
So good.
So clever.
It is so painful to decide. I prefer in that game to be lost because it takes options away from me. If I'm first, I'm like, they're all gonna stop me if I go here. But then I take some stupid action and nobody stops me. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. And that is, first of all, good because first of all, it's an area control game, right, basically. And during the action selection phase, you're gonna put your person down. It goes from 1 to 5, the numbers, right?
Yeah.
And then the number also decides when you use them. So when the round actually starts, you're going to use your number 1 first, then number 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. But it's also the value. If I put a number 1 down and he puts a number 2, he bumps me down.
Yeah.
So I could put money on it, and the money will then disappear. But then, of course, if I use my money now, next round, they will have money, and then they will be able to trump me there. So it's so many things. And you got 5 different columns to choose from. There's movement, building, battle, trade, I think, for resources, and then there's one extra one for the special cards or whatever.
But what really turns the game is the turn order after that.
Yeah, exactly.
It goes according to the number, not where you are.
Yeah, exactly. And then the second thing I really love about the game is how it scores. Because you have certain things, for example, the area control. If you have X amounts of
you don't drop
areas. Yeah, you get for example, 5. Okay, I'm at 5 now. Next round I'm at 2. It doesn't matter. I still have the points of the 5.
because you achieved the 5. Yeah.
Yes. So everything you achieve stays. So you just have to try to seize the moment and try to get high on that one or high on that one, and then stay there. Because my problem in many of those games is I might be able to get a good round, and then I get knocked down, and then that's it, basically, most of the time. But here, you can get knocked down. Okay, come at me, bro. I have it already. It doesn't matter, you know? And then you have different things. You want to go for the battles. You want to go for the area control. You want to go for the resources on your boat because you want to fill up your boat with stuff. And then the expansions, add the modular buildings that might come out at certain points. Because only 3 of them come out of like 10 or 12 or something. You can put people in jail. You have starting resources that are different this time, different characters you play with. So all just across the board is nothing bad I can say about the game actually, except maybe the board could be prettier. But
I think the player powers are not great.
They're not equal. Some of them are way better than others.
Some are just kind of boring.
Yeah, that's true.
Or circumstantial. I think the player powers could be.
That could have been more interesting. Yeah. Okay. I
It's
can't
still
say
great.
one
It was a
negative
great
thing about it. All right. So yours 10.
My number 10. My number 10. I don't know. It's probably not the greatest game. I just think it's a game I love, even though it's maybe not the best game ever. And I think it's got a lot of charm, and it's Village. Have you played Village?
Yeah, I used to own it with the expansions as well, but also got killed in the cold.
Okay.
With the
There's
Book of
just
the Dead.
the Book of the Dead. There's just something about. Have you seen that? That's why I'm so angry with the new edition.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
The art and everything.
It's awful. Which is unfortunate because the artist is the same artist who did Coimbra.
Yeah.
But I just think, I'm not sure if it's just if it's a bad art or just can't compare with the original art. Because village art has just this charm to it. It's this like romanticized medieval European village, and when you look at the board, it's just warm, and you want to be in that world.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's just the theme about this game, when you having generations that go through life and then die. Are you looking at the?
Yeah. I forgot what it looks like.
It's awful, and it's got a solo mode, which I would love to have with the original with the game. It's got an expansion with called the marriage expansion, which is with the sideboard. I want to play that, but I can't play that
So
art.
that, like Evangelos said, with the art really fit well with Coimbra, but then the problem here is because the previous art was better, and then
See, like if this game came on its own and it said, "Oh, it's the same universe as Coimbra," and
that makes more sense.
So what's the other game? The other game he's got.
In Dutch,
Alma Mater. It's kind of like the sequel to Coimbra. That universe, I probably would have forgiven it, but the art for Village is so.
But it's the same as Kingsburg, right? They take a complete different direction.
That art was just.
And that's always going to cost.
But the worst part that makes me more upset, when I really thought about it, is because the original game was by Pegasus.
Spieler.
Spieler. The new one's also by Pegasus Spieler. Because usually what happens is the art, they abandon the art because they lose the rights to it, because they change its ownership.
Yeah.
It's the same ownership, which means they just did the new art to justify making people buy a new big box.
Yeah.
So that's why they got new art. But the new art is terrible.
Yeah.
And that's it. I really like the art in Coimbra. It works, but here it just doesn't.
And the problem is, in Dutch we call it a stijlbreuk, is when you have a certain style that's set, and then you break with it, and you turn a complete new leaf. You're gonna lose everyone who likes the previous one, and you're gonna have a bunch of people who like the way it looks now. But but
sometimes it's okay. But with the art is so unique. I think this game, I don't think I would have loved it as much if it wasn't for the art. Even I really do love the game.
Because I'll give another example. Marvel Legendary, right? It all has comic book art, and there's one 3D expansion of Spider-Man with stills from the movie. Everybody hates it. Nobody. I mean, some people might not. But that's not the way most of the game is. So it's like, I totally agree with you. They should have just gone with roughly the same style.
Yes.
You can change it up, that's fine, but not as extreme as that. Because I agree, the previous one looked way better. The previous one,
it's that charm. And the game is charming. Like you have your villagers, again, it's romanticized. Like you have your guys and you send them to work and they work and then they die. And it's like this generational turn.
So cool.
No, but it has this...
It's a timing system,
but it has this bittersweet sweetness to that. Your guy dies and you feel...
Because on your board you actually do like laps, and every time you lap someone dies.
And then someone's going to die, and then it's like you create this generational story.
And it's also not a bad thing, because when they die you put them in the cemetery
and then you talk about them.
And you get points for it.
And you get your guys, and this one's going to be a blacksmith.
Yes.
That's his career. And this one's going to go into politics, and this one's going to go traveling. And then you get the tavern where you go meet people, and it just has this charming, like you keep saying the word charming, because it is charming.
Because you should play with the expansions that make it better.
Expansion's great.
I mean, the base game is good too, but the expansion elevates,
especially the traveling as well.
Yeah.
And it just has this warmth and feeling about it, and the new one just lacks. And I really want those expansions, and maybe I will ultimately just give it and get it to get the big box, because I want the solo mode, because I really love this game. But every time I look at that art, and the worst part is the one card you're looking at now has 6 fingers. So they don't even do they even make the art weird.
Everybody knows in the world of Village, everyone has 6 fingers and 4 toes.
The village was very, the gene pool was very small. But again, it's just one of my disappointments, because I would love to have a big box of this. I would love to have the expansion. I would love to have the solo mode.
Yeah.
But God, that art is just Yeah, I want to go. I think we'll stop now. Okay. Is, to be fair, this is how you should have done it, and that's Yidu.
Ah.
So here it's not the strictest same art, but the art feels the same.
Yeah.
I think the map is the same. I think the backs of the cards are the same. So even though it's a different company reprinting it, they still kept in line with the art.
Yeah.
And in some places made it better, the characters.
I agree.
And sorry, they make the grade 15.
Yeah, we have more than 15. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 already. Sorry, but sorry. Crossovers.
Good thing we never.
I win.
Good thing we didn't put anything on it.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, but you do. I love this game. And why I don't love it. When you talk about you like the fact that they add the cards, it's the one thing I don't like about the expansion. The new printing is that
they separated everything.
No, it's just that sometimes you can make the game a little lighter, a little easier.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing I loved about Yidu was the tightness.
But then you can still keep it tight, right?
But you don't know. Sometimes you might not get the right mix. So I'm taking this and this, and then you might not. Maybe now the game's too tight. The thing I loved about Yidu was the tension of money being so tight, and the tension of getting to that spot. The whole point of worker. Okay, the one thing I love about Yidu, the whole thing of worker placement is, please don't take that slot. Please don't take that slot. Please.
Yes.
But with Yidu, it's max. It's like 9,000, right? Mm-hmm. Because you need that spot to do this contract. Yeah, and then certain resources are limited. For example, so you really need to get that spot for that resource.
And then that's gone. I can never do this mission again.
So, and then you really need to go there, but you also need to go there, and you hope you're trying to balance too many things. And plus money's so tight, so you can't do the bidding stage, which I agree is amazing. The bidding.
I want to play it now.
Me too.
Because I'm just imagining the mats and everything as well. If you have all the mats, it's so pretty.
So it's a great game. I think it's my highest worker placement. No, but it's my highest pure worker placement. No, it's one of the best games. And yes, there's a bit of interaction, but now with the new version, you can tone down the interaction. Because you get the original get cards. Cards.
I guess they catered for more people that way.
Yes. But I just love the fact that it's so tight. It's so stressful. It really is a stressful game. But it's also incredibly thematic. Mm-hmm. With the gods, with the cards, the events. It's definitely
everyone I played it with, they all love it.
Yes,
they all love it.
It's definitely worthy number 9, I think. Yeah. Okay. What's your number 9?
My number 9 is definitely not on your list. It's a Super Fantasy Brawl. Yes, we all know it's from 2022. People who watch other videos of ours know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Because obviously it's not. But basically head to head, 1 versus 1. I think you play with more, but why would you?
Just teams.
Yeah, I think so. There's an option. But so basically you first of all you draft. You have all the characters that are out there. You draft 3 of them. You can play competition as well. So some people are really hardcore and know the perfect combinations. I don't even care. I don't want to know the perfect combinations. I just want to choose the people who look cool and think, okay, that person's more support. I'll fix with it. Okay, but I don't want to know all the details. So I just choose those people. And then very simple. You take all of their decks, you shuffle them, you draw an amount of cards. I forgot how many, whatever. And then in your hand, you have blue cards, red cards, and yellow cards. I mean, if that's how they came out. And then you have blue, red, and yellow mana. That's simple. You use a card, you flip over the mana. That's it. And that's it. You just do it until you run out of mana, and those are your actions. But of course, the point is, you are in an arena, and on the side, there's a bunch of challenges that will move 1 step every round. So some of them will disappear after a while, and they don't all score, because some of them might be under the 3 point, 2 points, I guess, and 1, and then 0. So depending on what you complete might just be 1 point or 2 points. You might, actually I have this one already, but it doesn't score at the moment, so I better do something else. So that's 1 point, and you have 3 pillars that also, of course, relate to the scoring things that might come out, like have 2 heroes or 3 heroes next to that pillar, stuff like that. But at the same time, you can also get points by knocking out other heroes. So if you manage to knock them out, you also have your hero card, and you then flip them over because they leveled up. Suddenly they're way more powerful. But of course, the other team is then going to focus on that one to get them out of the game. Okay. So some heroes are really good at moving around. Some are just tanks that are really difficult to put down, but they're super slow. There's like a variety of things that you can do. The sculptures are amazing. They already have 2 seasons, so there's so many of them. I got the Felder foam insert to make sure all the minis are nice and protected. Are they painted? No, they're not yet. They will be one day in 2075. But it's a goal to do that because
Can you play solo?
I don't know. I can't. Maybe you can, but I don't see appeal for that though. Because of the cards that come out and everything.
Okay.
Unless if they have an automa deck, maybe. But then there's synergy, right? So how do you do that? I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think so. But it's almost like a beer and pretzels game, almost. Just like you do. Okay, game's over. Do it
It's
again.
a skirmish game. That's what
Because like I think you need 5 points to win. I played with Kind from Everything Dice a couple of times. I think I don't know if we made videos or not. Maybe we did. I'm not sure. But then it went really fast back and forward. So yeah, games can be quick, strategic, and then there's always some ways to make points to try and get it. Even if your hero gets knocked out, it just goes back to your base, and the next time when you move, you bring it back out again. So yeah, and there's also traps around, so you can push people in and everything. Yeah, it's really nice.
Okay.
Number 8.
The next one I know you own. I haven't heard you talk about it yet. It's the first time it's on my list because I didn't add it the previous years because of lack of play, but I played it more this year. It's completely painted. Mystia. Not on your list? Oh,
I don't play enough.
it is so good. It is so good.
It's great.
I remember once again a game I played at your place, but back then we didn't finish because 2 people had to leave early.
That's right.
So we only played like 2 rounds out of 3, I think, and I was winning. But it is so cool. In the beginning, I thought it was going to be stupid because it was a Kickstarter and it has these 5 islands, I think.
Yeah.
And then one of your actions is you flip your jewel and you can move them around.
Yes.
You take one out and you twist and so on, which can change everything. So basically, what is Mystia? You have a bunch of golems and a hero that you draft in the beginning of the game, and a bunch of cards in the beginning of the game as well that you can play. And basically, you put your people out in the world to get like certain energy points, get movement points, victory points, and so on. And then you also have your engine here. So the cards that you get, you're going to play, and they might give you one-time bonus or continuous bonus. Like, okay, from now on, my guys can move twice. Okay, from now on, this one is cheaper. From now on, I can do this and that. There's monsters. From the beginning of the game, there's one monster. Next round, there's another monster. There's another monster with special abilities. They move around. And at the end of the round, they will attack. So if you're there, you can try and attack them. And then, of course, good enough. But if you don't and they attack you, you might suffer certain negative consequences. And you have to do that together because often your forces alone are not good enough to defeat it. So it's like, are we going to... So it could be that people are grouping and then their last turn before the round ends, you move out. And you're like, what? And then they get hit and you're like, nah. You can explore, which means you take like a card out, and then there's certain bonuses you can have because you can
Playing
choose.
power is really fun.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. The cards get better every round, and you have like this big, you have an app, but also a big overview of what every card does, and you know, like, okay, you can either get the cards that are there, or you can refresh them and then choose. So there's there's no bad cards hanging around.
I want
for
to
too
play it
long.
now, actually.
It is really good. It's really amazing. And
Did you back the solo?
Yes, I can't wait for that. I haven't played a Chaon yet because that's the next one, and then you can combine them to form the Fall. So I haven't played either of those modes yet, but I want to do that as well. And yeah, Mystia, it was one of my giveaways on Instagram actually.
Really?
Yeah, right when I had like 1,000 followers there or 500 or whatever. Yeah, I really love it. Mystia, that's my number 8.
Okay, my number 8 is Heroes of Land, Air and Sea. And for everything you said earlier. Yes, another crossover. Another game I introduced you to.
Okay.
It's all those things we said, right?
Yeah.
Walk off the game, the interaction is really fun. Building up your world, you're exploring. It's got all the things you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
The 4X. It's one that's every game has 4X, but this one really feels it.
Mm-hmm.
Also, even feels it more than in a smaller package than Twilight Imperium, right?
Yeah.
And you're right, the races feel unique. And it's not just because they're unique because they have one power like in Twilight Imperium. Every character has a certain thing. Even your castle you build has certain abilities. So when you build your castle, you build
And it literally becomes bigger on the map
bigger,
as well.
but the more you build it, the more different powers you get.
Yes.
And you get your standard fighters, and you get your heroes. I also painted this one, and each faction just has it feels like a real fantasy world.
Yeah. And then the fact that you have to choose which buildings you upgrade as well, right? So then you unlock the heroes and everything.
Exactly, at the same time, they're all linked. You get the asymmetric card battle system, which they ripped off from Kemet. But what's interesting about that system, it's linked, as you said, to the resources. So you've got to keep your resources, because you've got to spend resources to play the cards, and someone can work out what you're doing.
And then also the spells.
The magic system, the lock. So you can use them one time, or you can
continuously use them.
You they bind them, or you learn them, or something it's called. Oh, I just wish there were more of it.
And then it's often that you see someone do something, I want to do that too. But then it's like, but I'm actually going in a different direction, or...
And I wish that you complained about... I understand what you said. You complained about the merc people, the water people. Yeah. And then the flying one was just it's like a floating.
Flying one is okay. You can still see what's going on, but with the merman...
It was kind of lame. I agree. I just wish they just did more expansions, more races. That's all I need. I need more races, just because it's fun.
Yeah.
No, it's a great game, and that's why I suppose it's high, but I think it's deservedly so.
Yeah, me too. I mean, for mine as well, mine was 18, but it only dropped 2 places. But even though...
And that's why I told you to get it and told you not to sell it. Because I do think it's really worth having.
Are you ready for number 7?
It's Tzolk'in, the Mayan calendar.
I used to have it as well. Really good game, I agree.
It's a great game. And again, the T-Series. And the gimmick of the wheel. But it's not just a gimmick. Everyone says it.
Did you paint the wheel?
No, I want to.
Do you have those examples online? It looks
so good.
Oh my god.
That will take forever though. One day. But it's just the gimmick of the wheel. It's a gimmick, but it works. Because it symbolizes time and investment. And as I said, I think I spoke in another video, the problem with Tzolk'in is that it's been solved.
Yeah, but then you need to know the solution. I don't know the solution.
Nor do I really, but when I played online on Board Game Arena, I was destroyed because someone solved it. When I played Miguel, he knows how to solve it, and it takes away. I think you've had the expansion with the prophecies. Yeah, it kind of tones it down because you have to focus on other things
and the powers as well.
Yeah. And the player powers. Yeah. But as a game, when I play it, it's like a perfect game.
Yeah. So basically, for people who don't know, you just turn the wheel every round, right? Yes. And then the workers, it's a very simple system, right? You either put one
or pull them out.
Or pull them out, yeah. And then, of course, the longer they're on the gear, the more beneficial the reward gets.
And they have that mechanic everyone loves, which is feed your people.
Oh, yes. But then what I like about it is you can buy the building that then takes care of the feeding.
Yes,
and you don't have to feed. Yeah, that's the only thing I always look out for. I need that building. I don't want to feed the people.
But it's just, again, that theme of... the theme looks great, and it's a pretty game. Even though it's such an old game now, it's 8 years old.
Well, you wouldn't know it.
Yeah, it's very beautiful.
Yeah, you wouldn't know it when you play it.
No, it's almost one of the perfect.
And also, it's another racing game because if you go on the tracks for the gods, whoever's first gets the highest point, and then the rest cannot reach it.
And we all have tracks, right?
Tracks.
We need more tracks.
More tracks.
Yes. But another great game by Joachim, my favorite designer.
That was your 7?
So number 7.
My number 7 used to be 10, then number 8, now number 7, went up a spot without being played this year. So I don't know how that happened. But it's another crossover, because I'm pretty sure you already spoke about it. It's Merchants and Marauders. Yeah. So basically another sandbox, this time pirates. So basically you can do everything. You can trade, you can go out and attack merchants, you can attack the NPCs as well. You can go out and do missions because you got that too. There's a bunch of stuff that you can do. The only downside is it takes a bit long with the port action. That gives you so many options to do there. Yeah. So that's the downside, but yeah.
This is a game you introduced me to.
Yes, finally one. And then the fact that you said the board was a bit cluttered or whatever, busy or whatever.
No, I said the battle system was a little
okay.
convoluted.
Oh yeah, but I like the fact that you can upgrade your ship in so many different ways for battling and then buy all the different upgrades. And then with the expansion, you have like even more boards with it, with the crew morale and everything to make it more realistic, I guess. I don't know. But you have the expansion also brings in the wind that then suddenly can slow you down to a crawl. Like no, because that frigate is coming, stuff like that. So it is really really nice, and just deciding to go to war with the other countries. Is really cool as well, and have other people come after
And the
you.
map is so beautiful. Like it's a cool map.
It is also amazing that when you fight someone and you win, you can take over the ship.
Yeah.
And then, if you have a lower ship and you manage to kick the ass of one of the other bigger ships, and you're like, yes. And then one of the other players comes after you. No, because you're like in a damaged ship. So
it's a great
it's
game.
cool. The trade is a bit overpowered, but then you can only get 5 points out of that out of 10. And I guess you can always house rule to rule it down to 4 if it's too powerful. But then basically everybody just gets 5 trade and then see how you get the rest, right? And that's through a variety of things. Yeah, I really enjoy Merchant of Orders. Brilliant game.
There's rumors that might be printed.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, really
a bigger
edition.
box would be nice.
Yeah.
Anyway.
1, 2, Pokemon 2, 3, 4, Pokemon some more, 5, 6. This is 6.
For me is used to be number 17 and now it's number 6 because I played it a lot more. There's also videos on the channel. Is Monumental. You have Monumental? You should get it, even though the company is in trouble, I guess.
I have a game.
I have a game.
No,
You should definitely play it. If you want to paint that's like 160 minis.
Yeah.
So many. But I love it. The whole idea of it is you have a grid of 9 cards. Also, it's kind of like a civilization game. You have 9 cards, deck building. You put your cards out, and then you choose 1 card horizontally and 1 vertically. Well, 1 row for horizontally and vertically, and those cards all get activated. And then you do it, and you remove them, and then at the end of your turn, you fill them back up with the other cards from your deck. So the other ones remain. So during your turn, you have a bunch of stuff you can do because you're going to get income. You're going to get red, which is military, which you can then spend to do military actions, like moving and attacking and conquering stuff. You have blue, which is science, which you can use to buy science cards. You have black, which is basically building, so you can use it to buy buildings, which is basically adding cards to your deck. So there's also rivers of cards where you can get those buildings, science buildings as well. And science buildings are cool because they are actually being put behind a regular card and you can do both actions. You can also have philosophy or whatever, or I don't know, I think philosophy, they're like different tokens that can help you discover policies from your faction. So for example, you can say, okay, now I'm going to take this one, you do the bottom action, and then you have a lasting action for the rest of the game. But then if you discover a new one, that main action will be covered, but the bottom action will be activated with all the other ones again. So you get more powerful, but you have to decide which ones you bring out when, because some powers are really good early game, but are useless at the end of the game. So you decide what comes out when. There is military, so you can conquer the map, but you don't have enough military to conquer the whole map. So at one point you're going to run out of people because you always have to leave one person behind. So there is a map where if you conquer everything on both sides, you just meet each other in the middle and you can't do anything anymore, which is kind of funny. But there's
how's the downtime?
Well, they now have, in the beginning it was horrible, but now they have like a simultaneous mode where everybody just chooses what they do, and then it's like, okay, now you're doing it. Like you get resources all at the same time,
Okay.
and then it's like, okay, now you're doing it. So 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1, and then it goes a lot faster.
Okay.
Also, battling is really simple. You just have the majority of people, the battle power, you win. The other people get pushed back to their capital, and that's it. But then on their turn, if you move, it's not like, let's say it's here and there's 4 movements. It's not like 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it's just 1. If you can make a connection, that is just 1. So you can easily strike back. So when you're last player in the last round, that is an easy way to make up some territories if people have been attacking you. And like, okay, now bulldozer, game ends, yay. So there's a bunch of stuff to get points as well. I mean, I'm raving about this. There's
Yes.
so many different factions. There's the African empires that come out, hopefully one day. Yeah, they introduced so many different new things with the new factions as well. It is really awesome, and that's why it's so high.
good.
And I know many people are frustrated because it's very difficult to get because the company is now in
Funforge.
seeming Funforge, yeah, in problems because apparently it's been sitting in warehouse, if I'm not mistaken, as well. I could be wrong,
think
but
that's-
I think it's been very, very, very delayed. All right.
Okay, my number 6.
Yes.
My number 6 is another app integrated game, and that's Lord of the Rings: Journey in Middle-earth.
Never played it.
It's like
I'll
it's
tell
like
you why.
you don't like Middle-earth.
No.
No, it's more. It's like an improvement of Manchester Madness. Same type of system, and obviously I love the world. I love the Lord of the Rings world, and it's a beautiful game. The tile system, you build up your map. But what's really clever about it is it's a deck. You work with a deck, and so you test it with the cards. So you pull those cards, and then you can choose to keep one card as your power for that. You can put a card for your character. That's your character's power, like an extra power for them.
Yeah.
But those cards. So what happens is the test system works. When you do a test, you go pull cards out according to your player's thing, and the cards have like a symbol on it, and symbol means a success.
Okay.
But what happens is the good cards have those symbols on it, and the average cards don't.
Okay. So you don't want the good cards to come out.
No, you want the good cards to come out, but then
then
also
you
but you don't want to use a good card as your
Yeah.
power.
Yeah.
So you
Okay.
get the balance there. So your deck is your powers, and it's also the deck is your powers, and as well as your test. It's like a die. It's like literally like a die. It's almost like a Gloomhaven, right?
No.
You manipulate dice. So that's the one thing. But again, the app makes the game because you have choices, you have decisions to make. You explore this world, and you come across monsters, and you come across other characters, and you have dialogue, and you have choices to make, and all that. And the other thing is cool is that once you have some missions, it's campaign though.
Mm-hmm.
Some missions are exploring the world, and some missions are a tactical battle.
Okay.
So you get a bit of that.
Yeah.
And again, it's just really
But I've never gotten it because people complain about it a little bit, that you can't just take your time to explore. It's time.
But there was at the beginning. Now they've got to explore. They've got
explore mode?
explore mode now.
Oh, now it's
So now the third. So it was difficult, average, and now explore mode.
okay. I think
Which
I'd be
allows
more
you to
interested
explore the game now.
Yeah, I think I'd be more interested in explore mode.
There's explore mode, which I always go to
Okay.
because you want to go see things. You
Yeah,
want to
exactly.
explore.
Yeah,
You want to.
yeah.
No, they've got explore mode now.
That's something that I disliked about Gloomhaven as well. When the battle is finished, you can't pick up loot. I'm like, what?
Doesn't make sense.
Yes. Anyway.
But the thing is now you want to explore the whole map. You don't want to
Yeah.
rush to the missions. You want
Yeah.
to breathe the world in.
Take
And
your
so
time,
they
right?
fixed it. So they just fixed it. Unfortunately, they had 3 big expansions and little mini packs, and they've stopped it now. It's like Fantasy Star is just becoming a card company, a card game company now.
I mean, it's good. But there's a ton of expansions for this,
There
no?
was 3 big ones. I think it was 3 big ones, and there were a couple of blister pack ones, like small box ones, 4 tiny ones with little miniatures. And that the last one came out as the last one.
Okay.
Which so they stopped supporting it. But
Yeah,
it's a great it's the storytelling is fun, and
Then it's going to be difficult to hunt down then.
yes, so get what you can.
Okay.
And this is number 5.
So that's my number 4. So 6. My number 5 is the oldest game on my list.
Finally, you know.
It's very old, yeah.
Pretty
It's
old.
Dune.
June. Okay.
The battle.
Yeah.
It's actually older than me, I think. So again,
It's 25.
yes, it is clunky. It is convoluted. It is complicated. All C's, all the C's. I use all the C's. I use the rule of threes with C in alliteration.
Yeah.
but it is the game. It is Dune. It is it's I don't know if the book. It's a book on the table.
Yeah.
You got to play with 6 players. It's asymmetric.
Yeah.
You got to basically study your faction the night before. It's not it's not streamlined.
Yeah.
But when you play it, it just tells stories.
So you basically need to get 6 Dune heads, and then it's
Well, at least
brilliant.
the thing it's the rules are complicated, and this
Yeah.
like, it's typical that there's rules for rules, right?
Yeah.
There's exceptions to rules, and it's actually you need to really study the rules. it's up. You got to study beforehand. You got to check FAQs, and there's also disagreements with FAQs.
Yeah.
But once you get the rules down, and you need at least have one person at the table who's the rules lawyer to keep everything tidy, and then you know your faction. It just you get absorbed into this world.
It sings.
Yes, we played it. I played it with a group about a year ago. We played it twice. I wish we played it more. We played twice. Everyone had the same faction twice in a row, so you knew your faction well. And it was just one of the best gaming experiences I had.
How long would one game take?
The point of the game is that it can last because what happens to win the game, you need to take 3 set stars.
Yeah.
And that could take, but there is set rounds, so the game will end eventually. But the game could take anywhere from 1 hour, if someone plays badly, to 6 or 7 hours. It depends. It really depends.
Yeah. Okay.
And the alliances, when you make alliances, and it is the diplomacy around it is it's just so cool. And every faction feels totally unique.
I think that's very important.
Yeah, it feels more unique than any other game.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I know, like if you're the guild, like I was a guild. Right?
Yeah.
If you're the guild, whenever someone wants to bring dudes onto the map, they got to pay you, which is thematic.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
if you want to buy items, you got to pay the money to the emperor, like a tax.
Yeah. See, that's what I want to have with Merchant's Cove. You know, because people are part of an economy.
Yes.
And yeah.
But obviously that makes the game more gears and makes the game more complicated. But the thing is with Dune, as long as you know the theme, the rules make sense. If that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
So I know it's difficult to explain, but
no, I think it makes sense. I mean, if you know the world and everything, then it makes sense that they do this and they
because
do that. And you
because
can't
the
do
theme
this.
was first.
Yeah, exactly.
The theme was really almost to its detriment in some ways for some people. That it's too rules heavy because the theme is so important.
Yeah,
that's why Fantasy Flight, like the Arkham Horror and those games, had 2 books of rules, right?
Yeah,
because theme was so important. So you have your theme, and you got to make the rules suit the theme.
Yeah.
So you can't make a streamline. Otherwise, if you make a streamline, you lose the rule. You lose the flavor. That's why Civilization, the new ones, was not that good because they tried to streamline it and took all the rules out. And by doing that, you took the flavor out.
Exactly.
You can't have it both ways. You got to have either becomes totally abstract or it's thematic.
Yeah.
And if it's thematic, it's clunky. It's just one thing.
Yeah, no, it's true. Yeah.
But as I come to my top gaming experiences, Dune is right up there. I would love to play it more.
Okay, cool.
I just wish they made a super deluxe version of it. Because they finally reprinted it and they gave it to Gale Force 9 and they came up with this lame ass, like, very small little box. I don't want Dune to be the small little streamlined box.
You want it to
I
be
want it to be
glorious.
Simon huge, Awakening huge.
It might get another reprint after all the movies come out and get hyped even more.
Well, we're getting the Simon version, but that's a 2 versus it's 1 versus 1.
Yeah. Okay.
But I want this game to be done by Simon. Like, I
sounds like
huge.
Sounds like my problems with the Witcher games.
that could make
That was the number 5?
That's my number 5.
Oh yeah, my number 5. I made a song about, but then I made a song about Terraforming Mars as well. I didn't mention that. It used to be 6 last year. Now it's number 5. It went up 1 spot, and that's Dwellings of Eldervale.
That was I had a really on this one.
Yeah. So basically,
88.
I played this like crazy for a month, which hardly ever happens that I play one game for that long. And the reason is, I mean, initially I thought it was gonna. I said already. I thought it was gonna be stupid because I saw the gimmick with the monsters and everything. I'm not gonna back this game. And then I saw people raving about it. I was like, I need it, so I bought it from the web shop. Of course, way more expensive than the Kickstarter. But I don't regret it because it's so good. I like all the different powers, and I agree. There can be a runaway winner if certain people have the luck to always buy the best cards when it.
And the battle system can be a little swingy.
Yeah, okay, that can be swingy a little bit. But I think from my experience, it's more the card play that can really set the game, point a winner earlier on. But that's also because some cards get revealed, and then you realize, oh, nobody at the table has the resources to buy them except that person who already has good cards, and then they can produce more goods, and then it can become a problem. But that hasn't happened a lot. And when it happens, the next game, it is definitely not going to happen because people, of course, immediately react to that. But the fact you have so many different factions, they all play differently because you focus on different things. Some factions are more exciting than others, for sure. Also more complicated. But the fact that you can also just those monsters, which I thought were stupid, but then when you have them with the sounds, they're so cool actually. And then you can actually control them, which is even more awesome. Then it's just. Yeah, it's just almost chef kiss actually. And now we have Andromeda's Edge that's coming. I don't know what's going to happen with that specifically and which one I'm going to prefer. But I really, really like this one. I still haven't played it solo. Apparently solo is really good as well against the ghosts I forgot. But yeah, the whole thing, the fact that even that your workers turn into houses, that's cute, but it's also a strategic decision because you have less people to put out then. But then you need them for your endgame scoring because the fact that is connected to your the board where you have the essences like water, light, fire, all the powers there. That's connected to there. It's connected to your cards because if you don't have enough villages or whatever they're called, houses on the specific tiles, then you can only have a limited amount of cards of that thing. Yeah. It doesn't matter if you have 8 fire cards. If you only have 1 fire area control, then you can only have 3 cards if I'm not mistaken. So all of that is all tied together really nicely. The cards, the spells can sometimes be really surprising when somebody suddenly says, oh, no, this happens, like what? So yeah, the fact that when you do a battle and you lose for some factions is actually a good thing because they can still use their people, so they can just go out and battle, doesn't matter. Your different units that you bring out, they have different abilities, the mage, the fighter, the dragon. And they all have different art as well for each faction.
And it's good packaging, the trays. It's just,
yeah, but then with the trays, I would suggest anybody who has it, buy the Etsy covers so that your boards live longer. Definitely necessary.
Number 4
is... I think I played that at yours as well. Pretty sure.
This is how I should probably would play with me. I'll probably introduce you to.
Well, I think this is the last one actually that you introduced me to it. Used to be number 7, now it's number 4. It's On Mars. I played it yours? On Mars?
No.
I played it somewhere.
No, with me.
Did I just blindly buy it? I'm not sure. Maybe I just blindly bought it. Yeah, because I really like it. I really, really love it.
Ghost.
Yeah, for sure. Well, also the theme I like more, but the fact that you have the 2 parts of the board and you have to decide when you go back, and then you boost your board. So basically on Mars, it's a little bit like terraforming Mars because you're also building out Mars as well. I mean the theme.
The rover moving.
Yeah, you're moving the rover around, which is important to pick up bonuses around the board. You move your robots around so you can build areas. If you build the places where people sleep, the bunkers, whatever. When you play that, then you have more people to actually spend, the workers to use. You have the rocket ships that you can send out to get more workers, which are then placed in bonus actions on the side, or bonus actions. Then you also have your own board with the technologies that you can then move forward. If other people use it, you get a bonus as well. So for example, if my rover power is higher than yours, you can actually pay me so you can use my rover power, if I'm not mistaken. And then you can also get scientists. If you get scientists, you can use them on cards you've gotten, so they're free for the rest of the game, things like that. Or put them on other people. No, I didn't get that. I didn't really seem interested in that, to be honest. But maybe I'm wrong again, who knows. But yeah, everything, it looks pretty as well. It is definitely heavy. And as the game goes on, in the beginning you can just hop back and forth easily. But as you improve everything, it becomes more difficult and it's thematic because you build more on Mars, so you don't have to go back as often.
Yeah.
Right? But you still do need to go back because your workers are locked. If you then go back, those workers get unlocked, you get them back. So it's a really, really neat system, and I really love playing the game.
I just play the game.
Really epic. I love every bit of it. It's my favorite Lacerda, and I played 3 of them. I played the Gallerist, I played the Escape Plan, and this one. Yeah, it's definitely my favorite. Good goals.
Okay. My number 4 would have been almost definitely been one a while ago. I think I just played it too much. I think I played too much online. I just played it too much.
I think I know.
Terraforming Mars.
Yes, yeah, I know. Yeah.
It's when I was speaking to our mutual friend Evangelos, he thought it'd be my number 1 still.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's just not as fun as it used to be.
But didn't you say the online version had flaws? Like certain cards are not removed or whatever.
No. The online version has issues, but it's more just buggy.
Okay.
And it doesn't have all the expansions, right? It has preludes, but it doesn't have. I think it's on the online version. I know the game too well now. It's become almost like I know all the cards and how it works. When I play with expansions in person, I kind of get more surprises. Oh, this card! I've never seen this card for so long, right? Whereas the online version, you kind of race into certain cards.
Because you don't have the expansions online.
No, only preludes.
Oh, okay.
And I would kind of wish that, well, at least with when you have Venus cards, something new to think about.
But
right?
I don't think that's bad, because at least then the physical version still has merits.
I agree. No, I totally agree. But the problem also then the game becomes longer.
Yeah, but I don't like the app. I tried playing the app. I don't like the way it's presented. So I've played maybe 2 games, and I was like, ugh.
I played hundreds of games. I think the app was really good.
Yeah.
But I think it's just I've played. It's just too. I played too much because I know all the combos. I'm looking for the right combos. There's no more surprises in the game.
Yeah.
When I play Terraforming Mars online. Anyway, so because of that, that's kind of sour for me online. I don't play as much as I used to. And getting to the table, I want to put expansions, but that makes the game way too long. Yeah. I like the expansions. I like
Colonies.
Turmoil. I like Colonies. I like Turmoil. I even like Venus. I don't mind Venus.
Yeah.
But it's just difficult to the table. So,
well, I don't mind Venus either, but I've played so many games where Venus is basically untouched.
That's fine. Let it be untouched, right? It doesn't hurt anybody. It doesn't. But as I said, it's just. But as a design, as combo building, as the tension for the board, its action on the board, it's just.
But which expansion would you prefer? If you have to rank them, of course, Prelude is first. But what then? Colonies or Turmoil?
I actually really like Turmoil.
I really like Colonies.
Yeah, Colonies is good too, but I really like Turmoil because Turmoil adds that. At least with Turmoils, I know a lot of people don't like it, but with Turmoil for me, it makes the game different. It really makes every game different.
Yeah, you have to pay attention to it because otherwise you can get screwed over.
Exactly.
For sure.
It gives attention. It gives the voting aspect.
Yeah.
It just gives something extra, which I really enjoy. So I really like Turmoil, but Colonies is great too. Colonies can be manipulated to a lot if especially someone goes.
I like the boosts you get from Colonies. Yeah, that's true.
But no,
it makes it more swingy, I guess.
This is number 5.
It's my highest rated T game, and that's Teotihuacan.
I didn't put it on my. I have it. I didn't put it on my list because I haven't played it in ages. Once again, I played it at yours. Really liked it, but then I never played it with my other friend groups because it always seemed pretty heavy, and we always had limited time. So I can't really. And then I kept postponing it, and now most of those people have moved away.
But it's not as heavy as say on Mars.
Yeah, but I haven't played it with them either. I only play on Mars with heavy duty gamers. Okay.
But Teotihuacan, it's just again the rondel. Basically, it's a rondel.
Yeah.
And moving your dice, your workers are the dice.
It's a really cool system.
It's so much fun.
And the pips change, right?
The chips change into the action, and there's a tension of a pain when you go there. There's too many dice there. You got to pay to use the action, but if you go there, you can get what's the food there? Cocoa.
Feed your workers.
Feed workers, and the
Pyramid.
expansion. The pyramid, building the pyramid in the middle.
Yeah.
Doing the decorations and doing the combos.
The masks.
The mask system. The locking the dice.
Yeah.
The expansions are really good.
Yeah, because it makes it modular, right? The boards
Makes modular. There's an
stuff.
extra track with the new track.
Player powers.
Yeah. And they're releasing a Kickstarter for it now.
Yeah, I know.
Like
So I'm
version.
like, maybe I should just sell my version now and get the new one.
Just get it over with. But it's just one of the best UIs. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. I really enjoy that because we also played it multiple times at yours.
Yeah. It's a game I want to play now.
So whenever we play anything multiple times at yours, it's good.
Music good, yeah. So yeah, THL welcome.
It is telling though that most of our crossovers are in the top 23. Top 23 actually.
Okay. So what's your number 3?
My number 3 is not going to be on your list. That is, we used to be number 3, then number 5, and now number 3 again because I played it more again, and I've started painting it. And almost finished it, but I need a holiday to finish it. Is Mage Knight, the Ultimate Edition. So I
thought it might be number 1.
I've owned, yeah, it's always been close, but it used to be Seasons and then other stuff, and Terraforming Mars and whatever. So Mage Knight, I've owned it for 13 years in different variations, 13 years, something like that. So now I have the Ultimate Edition, of course, and I also bought on Etsy the Terrain Pack. So we have all the buildings and the magic wells. So basically Mage Knight, for people who don't know, is you are a Mage Knight. There's like 5 or 6 of them, 7 or something with all the expansions. And basically they all have the same deck aside from 2 cards or 3 cards that are different. So not that much variation, but they all have a skill deck that is different. So basically you choose a scenario, for example, conquer 2 cities, whatever. You start, you move, you explore, you go to the monastery to hire people, to hire basically your own army. And as you level up, you'll be able to hire more people, which will help you in the battles. The battles are kind of complicated, but once you get it, it clicks and it's fine. But what makes, and you can do other stuff as well, go down dungeons, you go down mercenary camps, villages, magic tower, mage towers, the cities, the keeps. There's so many different types of enemies, so many different types of places. You have ravaging orcs, running around, whatever, you have to fight. But what makes the game special is the card play. You start with 7 cards in your hand, no, 6 or 5. But as you level up, you get more cards. But every card can be anything.
Yeah.
Like even if it's a card that's useless, it says, okay, but this is actually also 1 attack or 1 block or 1 move or 1 influence, you know? And then on the card as well, of course, it has the regular stuff. You have the top action, which is always the basic action, like for example, 2 move. But if you use a crystal, it's 4 move. Yeah. But then the movement is also determined on whatever terrain there is. And then you have all these different cards that you can combo together with the use of magic. But if it's day, then you can use gold crystals, which can be any type of color. But if it's night, you have black magic, which basically is useless, if I'm not mistaken. And if you roll that, there's a bit less magic in the pool that people can use, which is annoying. And then you do a certain amount of days, and then you hope by the end of the day you have completed it. But the fact that you want to recruit those people to make yourself stronger, and you're just going around with your army, you can attack other players if you want to. You can make it competitive. You have these relics or artifacts that you can get that makes it powerful. You can buy spells or get spells as you level up. As you level up, you draw a certain amount of skills. You choose from them 2 skills. You choose one, and the other one goes into the pool. That means if you level up, you get 2 plus mine, and you choose from those 3. That guy levels up, has 2 plus the other 2 that were not. So after a while, you have like a bunch of skills that you can choose from. Actually, yeah, that one from you, I really like it. I'm going to take this one. And you also have skills that actually focus on other players, so you can steal stuff from players if that's what you want to do. But with the expansion, so many things you've got. You got the Volcare expansion is basically a huge general with a huge army who just goes through the whole area because the map is already explored, kind of, in the beginning. And you just run around getting strong enough to hopefully kill him by the end. That's basically the whole scenario. And you have like druid-based scenarios, so much stuff. Like I said, I really love this game. For me, it's the best solo game, best solo experience for me. Although, yeah, there's something else that might come close later on. Anyway, this is my number 3, Mage Knight, the Ultimate Edition.
2.
Was my number 1 last year. It dropped down 1 spot, and that is Twilight Imperium 4th Edition.
Oh.
I bought it. Was not introduced by you. I bought it even though we have someone here who always brings their copy and has everything, but I wanted to have it myself. I blinged it up completely. Well, not completely, I still need special die sets, but I have the stands, I have the mat, I have the special insert who puts every faction in small little boxes and then Anyway, Twilight Imperium is a space opera that you've always dreamed of. You have your own faction, one out of the, I don't know, in 20s factions. A lot of factions.
Print and play ones? Have you got the print and play ones?
No, those ones, no. Because that's print and play, I don't like it.
You can get them on Etsy, pre-printed.
Yeah. I'll take it. Don't make me spend more money. Anyway, so you have your faction, and then you study. You do study. You go online, you find out the strategies, you find out what you're supposed to do, because otherwise you're going to be at the table and go like, especially with the expansion now that adds exploration to it, agents that you can use. And basically, you do that, everybody already knows where they're going to be on the map. They know where they're going to sit, who they're sitting next to when you come into the room. And then you sit down, the game starts, you do your actions, you go around the board, you choose. First of all, you have like an action selection phase where you choose what you want to do. And then people know, okay, that person's going to do this. I'm going to follow them with this action and spend my command points, or maybe not. Maybe I'll just keep it for something else later. And you basically have to constantly adjust to what's going on around the table. And at one point, if somebody conquers Mechatol Rex in the middle, then the game gets a little bit longer because every round there's an agenda phase, like you talked about before. They will vote on laws that will change the whole game. Normally you win when somebody gets 12 or 13 points, depending, you can even go to 14 or just stop at 10, whatever you want. But there's going to be a series of goals for 1 point that people will try to get throughout the game. But the moment somebody gets close to winning, all bets are off. Nobody's nice anymore. And then it's like, we have to stop him. And then they stop him, but now he's winning. What about him? And so you'll go around and it's very difficult because at one point people are all standing up, looking at the board saying like, okay, he's going to win. How can we stop him? Like, oh crap, we can't. And then bang, that person wins or whatever. Or sometimes there's a runaway winner or whatever, it doesn't matter. It's just so much fun. It can take a long time depending on how many points you play. But I enjoy it every time. I played with many different factions. I ended twice, I think 2 times, never won. Might never win, but I don't care. You know, I just love the game to bits. And we didn't play this year yet, but the year before we played twice. The year before we played 4 times in a year, which is actually a lot for that game. So Twilight Imperium.
Okay.
The 4th edition with the Prophecy of Kings expansion.
Okay, my number 2. I know you don't like it.
Architects again.
No, Architects. And it's probably not like THO Walken's probably a better game.
I don't know.
But for me, I think I was thinking about it and I thought ultimately it's a game, I really love this game. And that's why it's number 2. And that's Evangelos.
Oh, yeah.
I really love Evangelos.
I don't dislike it.
No, with the expansions, I don't know why I love it. It maybe just again like with Village, the charm of it, but also the puzzle of the cards and building the tableau. I don't know. It's just something about this. I love this game. The tight worker placement. You know, the whole point. You play the different seasons, the 4 seasons. Your first round goes by and you think, I'm not going to be able to do anything. And as you slowly build your tableau, it starts building, your economy, your engine starts running better. And the expansions just make the game more interesting. You get the pool book, which is really good. The river, where you can send your frog. The new one with the season, with your traveller. Bottom. You get the tree. It's just...
You've got a gigantic box.
Yeah. Unfortunately. No, but that's the problem. I really love the game, so what can I do?
Yeah, of course, get everything.
But what were you going to say?
No, I don't dislike it. I didn't think it was bad at all. I just didn't feel like buying it. That's all. I didn't like it enough to say I'm going to go home and buy it.
I played every time. I've always enjoyed it.
Mm.
And I love the symmetry with the cards and the tension, choosing what you want to do and looking at the. I don't know. There's so much going on,
No.
but I don't know. I don't know why. I can't explain it because I know Teotihuacan is a better Euro. I know
Yeah,
that
but it's-
Tekken is a better Euro.
it's-
Yid is a better Euro.
It's a top 100 game of games that you really
Exactly.
like.
And I really
right?
love this game.
Your number one can be Uno, and it doesn't matter.
And exactly.
If you
That's what I'm
play
saying.
1,000 games
I,
a year,
I don't
it's
deny
Uno.
it, and I can't explain why I love it so much.
Yeah.
And it might be the theme, but I don't think so. I think it's just smooth in many ways. Like you have cards, you play a card, and you do what it says. You have a work, you put your work on this place. You take it the resources, you gather resources to play cards, and then I don't know.
You stand up to read the card on the tree because you can't see it from where you're sitting.
But again,
I'm just kidding.
the tree's everyone knows that the tree's totally useless,
Yeah.
but it's just charming.
Yeah,
I really love this game.
I understand. I mean, it's widely loved. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't have any problems with it. No.
So that's my number 2.
Always number one.
You see Mama anymore. Alright, Ocha. Sai, come here. Come here. Always
Number one.
And your number one.
My number 1.
Dun, dun,
Did you work it out?
No, I have no idea. I thought either Terraforming Mars or ISS Vanguard.
Nemesis.
Ah, yeah, you didn't mention that. Yeah, sure.
I love this game.
It is really good, yeah.
I love this game. I
It's
can
really
play it. I wish I could play it more. It's just again, Tekenu, Teotihuacan, Tolkien.
Genesis.
I love the Euro games.
Yes,
I
yeah.
love my heavy Euros.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to fun, Nemesis is what I want to do.
Mm.
And maybe it's good because it's got slight Euro mechanics.
Well, I played it once at your place, and I still remember the playthrough. It's like it was yesterday.
Yes, and
That says a lot.
it tells stories. It's tense.
Mm.
It's real. It's interactive. It's talking. It's fun. The monsters come out, and you deal with the monsters. Every time I play it, it's a blast. And
Yeah.
yes, sometimes the queen can come out the first round and totally mess up the game, but that's fun too.
Yeah.
And it's one of those. Is it why would I play board games? Is to create stories on the table, and just to have a puzzle too. And the game does have the puzzle.
Yeah.
The game doesn't play you because a lot of times these thematic games, you're kind of on rails.
Yeah, but and also this is also another game where you can totally role play. You know, because I remember I was a guy in a wheelchair and everything,
Exactly.
wielding guns and
But
constantly.
at the same time, you still have your hand management of your deck, playing
Yeah.
the cards and working out which card should I play at what right moment. So it
Yeah.
still had the tension of a Euro game, but at the same time, it was totally thematic.
Because I remember us talking trash because two of our friends went off by themselves.
Yes.
And then in the end they died anyway.
Exactly.
But it's like, what are you guys doing? Oh,
And-
we're going here.
And the semi-co-op really works here because you're working together, but you don't trust each other, so there's always a bit of tension,
Yeah.
and you got to worry about the monsters, you got a lot of dice for noise.
Now I want to go online and buy it.
Yes, you should, because it's number one game for me. It's such a fun game. And now they announced the third game in the series.
But did you get the second?
Yes.
Did you play it?
Yes.
The first one's better or the second one's better?
They're
Long-
about
long
the about the same. It just depends on the theme.
Did you upgrade it anyway?
Only what they offer.
Okay.
I didn't get anything extra.
You can put all the walls and
No, I didn't do that. You see the ones with the
there's with the lights,
I've
LED
seen it.
lights and everything.
over the top.
Yeah.
But the new version now is going to be aliens.
Okay.
So now you're going to be superpowered Marines versus.
But a side note about the LED lights, I think it's very useless because you tend to play with the lights on, so you don't even see the lights unless you do the light off and
No,
you can't
that
see your
makes
cards. So whatever. But
Yeah, I love it. Every character has his own deck, so there's a bit of asymmetry to that. And no, my number one game, Nemesis.
Yeah, I can totally see that. I should have known. It's just hitting my head now. My number one is a new entry. Because I didn't have it this time last year, I think. Or maybe I did, I'm not sure. You know, any idea?
No.
It's fantasy. It's Mage Knight-ish. People compared it to Mage Knight. I don't think they should, but they did.
I can't think of it.
Euthia, Tournament of Resurrection.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Number one, huh?
Yeah, number one, yeah. And it just kept beating every other game. And even now, I totally understand. Euthia is everything that I want in
Interesting.
an adventure game. Maybe not with the mechanics 100% that I wanted, but I want to play it every day because it's so good. So you have different characters first of all, but what I like about the game is it has everything. Like you have the character model, you can buy gear that you then place. You can like imagine Diablo kind of gear,
Yes.
right? So you also have armor sets that you can buy that give you bonuses. You can have boots, but then some boots have nothing. Other boots have spaces for gems, so that you give you like Diablo, right? But on the other hand, you also have to go around, fight monsters. It's also sandboxy, even though there's a round limit, but whatever. You can go around, you can meet NPCs who are also randomly chosen depending on the tiles that you have randomly chosen at the beginning of the game. You don't know which NPCs are going to come out, and they'll have quests. You can do them, you can also not do them. Who cares, right? You have a set of actions you can do. You have the tokens, and you can decide to not do all of them and save one for next round, and then you have four things that you can do. But basically every token has a movement or something else. So you can say, like, okay, this round I'm going to mine, and people might say that it's limiting, but I like it in a way that it reduces AP. Like you can't do everything. You have either you're going to move and attack, or you're going to move a mine, you're going to move with this or whatever, but you can't do everything. You can position yourself in some way, and then that's going to be fine. But yeah, I like the way the battling works, because it's with you also roll dice, but there's a lot of mitigating. You've got like a die, a really big chunky die that even if you roll badly, it will give you bonuses that you can then use later on. You've got tokens you can use, you have health potions you can use to mitigate everything. And you have certain goals just like Mage Knight. But people compare it to Mage Knight, I don't think so, because you don't have the card play and everything. It is definitely shorter, I feel. They play completely differently. But at the moment, if I have to choose, I would choose to play Euthia. Also with the expansion coming, which will change everything up again as well. I also like the fact you have elementals, and you don't really fight them. They're just there, right? They're not going to actively attack you, but you walk up to them and you have an encounter. So you roll a die, and then you see what happens, and then you put your token there, and then that's it. But if there's a fire elemental, he's going to damage you as you're walking to him, because there's fire everywhere. If it's like, I think a water elemental, they will heal you. So if they're like close to each other, they'll cancel each other out. And stuff like that. Then you can also dig for treasure in certain things, and then you can then draw from, because they have these towers that basically dispensers where you take out the loot and then everything you find. You can mine, like I said before, but also in different levels. At the beginning of the game, you can't even go to a shop, because you have to clear the monsters to get to a shop. But then first you go dig for treasure and everything. And
Is it a campaign?
no, I mean it has stories, but then there's no storybook or whatever.
Okay.
It's like scenarios like Mage Knight. Like this is the session we have.
So
This is the situation we have to get to this. I'll go
do you
do it.
prefer that, or do you wish this game had a full campaign?
I think it'd be nice if it had that too, but then there's more on rails. I guess it has different ways to go, but I think it's fine the way it is, because I also don't feel like Mage Knight needs that. I mean, that would add it, but it's like Village. You have this game already in your head how it is. I don't need it to become a campaign. I don't. But for me, it's
Why not both?
yeah. Why not both? Yeah, sure. Yeah,
Why
an
not
expansion.
campaign and
One-off
one-off
scenarios.
scenarios.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. But yeah, at this moment, that's the number one for me. I like the art too, because it just ticks all the boxes that I really like, and yeah. It can be sometimes a bit punishing, but I don't really care
Is
about
it
that.
not? I heard it's not very streamlined. It can be a little like too many decks, lots of decks, lots of things.
Well, yeah, you have a
lots of
bunch of
rules
stuff
overhead.
all over, but
Yeah.
I mean, that you can say the same thing about Mage Knight for sure.
You say something about Nemesis, my favorite game. So.
Yeah, so I mean, it's something one of my friends said that made me go like, when we were teaching on Mars, that person said, we said to that person, look, it's going to be difficult, okay, the rules.
Yeah.
And then after we explain everything, that person said, oh, I get it. This is easy. But yeah, after we an hour and a half, an hour rules and then half an hour.
Once you get it, yeah.
Yeah, but once you get it, that doesn't matter
Exactly.
anymore. Even with the dispenser and everything, the setup is really easy.
Okay.
You know, so I don't really think that's much of
And
a problem.
when you get to those moments when the rules, you try and work at the rules, you work it on the spot according to theme.
Yeah,
You can work it out.
yeah. And then as usual, I put playthroughs on, and then people might say, "Oh, you did this wrong." I say, "Okay, I don't know, I'll edit it." But the main point is, do you have fun while playing it? And I do. It's crazy good. I got really disappointed when the expansion got cancelled and they went bankrupt basically, but then they got picked up and then it got released anyway at a higher price point. But I was like, I don't care. This is my number one. Give me everything. And like I said, I haven't said it yet. I painted everything as well.
Painted as well.
Yeah. Well, it's just the characters. There's not much. There's like 7 or 8 or something. That's it. And I made a song about it as well. It's always a good sign. But yeah, that was my number one. Yeah.
So we both went for the big thematic games for number one.
Yeah, but I think it was going to be right. It wasn't going to be like, I mean, with the collection that I have now, it can't be Seasons anymore. I mean, Seasons is really fun, but the scale, I think these games blow our minds, and I think that is the point.
As I said, like, for me it was going to be, I was wondering, but ultimately it came for a big game.
Yeah, because
again, why do we come to the table for those moments?
Yeah, I mean, just look at my top 3. It is Euthia, Twilight Imperium, and Mage Knight. Not exactly games where you tell your parents, hey, want to play a game? So, I mean, they're all big games that require definitely some preparation or whatever and some time. It's not going to be a 30-minute game. I mean, I try to put in some 30-minute games and everything as well, but they're never going to get super duper high. But
fillers from reason. They do.
Well, 30 minutes is a bit long for a filler, but yeah. But it's true. I do agree. And we finished this now. It took us like a month and a half or something, right, with meeting up and everything. Yeah. But I think we can say that in that 1 month and a half, a bunch of games have come out already that would have been on our list.
Yes.
Yeah.
I always think about that.
Yeah, we can always talk about that later, potentials or whatever. But let's just say next year is going to be completely different again.
I think so.
I think I already played some top 10s actually. But yeah.
Okay.
All right. Let us know how you feel about the top 100. If you agree, disagree, or whatever.
Who's got the best list? Who's got the best list?
Who's got the best list? Yes. But we all know who was correct with the crossovers. But then, of course, you can always say most of the crossovers are games that you supplied in some way, some form or way.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time. The next top 10 or whatever. Bye.
Cheers.